Hey, it's Tammy Time. Welcome to the show, where the fun's always prime. I'm your host, Tammy Hernandez, and I'm here to bring the heat, with conversations that sparkle and energy that can't be beat. From lifestyle to entertainment and everything in between, we'll dive into topics that matter and make your day supreme. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's get started. It's Tammy Time, and we're gonna have a blast every single part.
Hi, I'm Tammy Hernandez, and welcome to Tammy Time with my co-host Gizmo. For you who don't know me, he's my little dog who comes everywhere with me. He's better trained than most people and kids, and we like him better. And today's guest is Sofia, who most of you all who follow me would know. She's my trainer. She keeps me in shape. New Year, so we all have New Year's resolutions and new things to do. So, Sofia, tell us about what's going on for the new year.
Oh my goodness! First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. I know that everybody wants to start the new year. Well, almost everybody wants to start the new year with New Year's resolutions, right? And I get a lot of people saying that they want to lose weight, they want to get in shape. And those first couple of weeks of every year, that's when the gyms make most money, because that's when people sign up and then they don't follow up. So, gyms make money that way. That's how they make their money. They want to get people in, but they don't want the people to stay.
Ooh.
And my job is to make sure that if you join the gym or if you start a fitness program, that you actually stick with it.
Well, I watched a thing, speaking of gyms, so the purple gym, whatever that one is, it's the chain, it's the purple chain.
A purple chain.
They have the purple equipment, but they took down, like if you drop the things, you get a fine. That they sign people up, and they deliberately created the gym the way they did, where you can only sit on the equipment for so long, because the real people who train like you and Howard, because you all do the real working out, where you all can lift and are very good about it and dedicated and do it for hours. The people who do that stuff, unlike me, those ones are the ones that will stay on the equipment longer.
Yeah.
So these ones, they put like 15 minutes per thing, and you have to move equipment. So they make their money because they don't have the real workout people who they just sign up, and then they're guilty to cancel it, so they keep their membership. So that's
a lot of gyms don't want that. I know.
So that's the purple gym. Their whole strategy,
is to get people moving faster.
So that way they don't work out.
Planet Fitness is one of the places.
Is that the purple one?
I'm not sure.
It's whichever one has purple equipment. You all can message me and let me know.
But I will tell you that I have a pet peeve, because yes, I like to use the equipment, but I also, there's this new trend that's happening right now, and please don't be the person doing that. It is we're going to start off the show with things that you should not be doing at the gym.
Okay, tell me.
So one of the things that you should not be doing at the gym is sit on the equipment and look at your phone.
Oh, the texting people at the gym.
It's this epidemic. It's an epidemic. And I know that people mean no harm. And a lot of times, if I'm at the gym and I want to use a piece of equipment and someone is on it and they're on their phone, if I ask nicely, I'll nicely go up to them and say, how many sets do you have left? And usually they're like, they realize what they're doing, or I'll give them a look and they know. But overall, it seems that this has spread, and unfortunately, I see fit people doing this as well, where people are sitting on the equipment and they're on their phones. They're on their social media while they should be working out.
Now, you know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to say the people who are doing TikTok trends inside the gym. And
maybe
themselves.
They are. Well,
no, they're not. I'm talking about the people using the equipment in crazy ways.
There's people using the equipment in crazy ways. There's people who are working out and they're filming themselves, and that I'm fine with. It's a new era. I think that if you're going to be working out and you're an influencer and you want to show an exercise, and you're not hijacking the equipment, that's fine. You put a camera there, you film yourself. But it's the people who are not doing that. They're not working out. They're just taking breaks between their sets. and they're on the phone and they're taking up the equipment, that is a pet peeve. That it's just please don't do that.
We work out and we do film my workouts, but it's at a private gym,
Right.
so we're not interfering with everyone else.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get Tammy into a public gym because people get scared because she's so gorgeous, and they get, well, she is, but she she made personal choices about her aesthetics, and we do have to work your back.
Yes.
In different ways, because
Yes.
when you're busty, you have to work your back. And I've known Tammy now through several of her surgeries. Yes, we can talk on the show about that.
Yes, we can
yeah,
talk.
So I've known Tammy now. This is I think her
2014.
Yeah, I've known her since 2014, and her boobs did get bigger, and we did have to adapt her workouts. And
you're the only trainer I've had up north since I moved to the mainland.
To the mainland, up north from Key West, which is like
This is
way down
this
south.
is so north.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Key West, we're closer to Cuba than Walmart.
And and people in Key West are much cooler and easygoing, and they don't get as shocked or outraged or intrusive. Mean and intrusive. I have to say that the people can be very mean. They take out their phones. They try to take pictures. They disrupt the workout. They, some of the women become catty. It's just like all of a sudden everybody loses their inner monologue.
We're in middle school again.
Right. Everybody loses their inner monologue because they just can't handle seeing, someone as beautiful and
with a different body
secure.
shape.
She's got a different body shape, and she made her choices. And
But I will say they were the best thing I did to get rid of mean, judgmental people. Because
Yes.
the judgmental people don't like me right off the bat. They don't take the time to get to know me. But
which is a mistake, because Tammy is an absolutely adorable person. You're one of the kindest, nicest, most generous, loyal. You're all good.
Thank you.
But you look a little scary. What can I say? They see you
well.
coming, and they know that all the attention's going to be on you, and that bothers them. So, working in a private gym works best for us.
yes.
And I also, when I do my personal training, I have several clients that I like to work in a private gym with. At this point in my training career, I'm going for a Master of Exercise Science. That's what I'm working on right now.
Yes.
I'm almost done. And as I've been doing this since 1999, and as I'm perfecting my craft and my
And she's great because she
work.
customizes maneuvers for me.
Right. and for everybody else, everybody's different.
Yes.
And like we were saying in the beginning of the show, you need to find something that works for you. Right? You need to find the kind of workout that works for you, that you can stick with, that works with your body type, that works with what you like to eat, that works with, your lifestyle. Everybody's unique, and, different ages, different strengths, different sexes. So we need to adapt our workouts in such a way that it's not a chore and something horrible, and people who don't like working out, oh my God, I don't like working out. And it's just like, but your body was meant to hunt and gather. So if you don't like working out,
Well, I
means you
like to
don't
hunt and fish.
Right.
I just won't work out alone, because
Well-
if I work out alone, I won't do it.
Right. Yeah. If people really liked to work out alone, I wouldn't have a job. So that's
Yes.
my whole career is based on people who don't like to work out alone. But it's also important to understand. You have to understand your form. You have to understand your body. You have to know what you're doing.
Right. And I can't see. So we already know I
Right.
can't see my feet. I can't see out of one of my eyes very well. So I already have strikes against
that's just,
me.
That's
So-
just half the haters you don't have to deal with.
I know, because I can't see what they're saying or doing.
There you go. So we don't even care about them.
Yes.
And
But
so yes, go on.
Now we know that I love to eat, and I don't have a super healthy, but I don't eat large portions of anything. But every snack under the sun's at my house. But what about all this new fasting stuff? Because I don't want to fast.
Well, it's fasting happens to be excellent way of detoxing. And right now they actually have, in fact, there was a Japanese doctor who just won the Nobel Peace Prize because he was able to prove what we've known for a very long time, which is that fasting actually helps cure cancer.
Right.
And helps cure diseases.
And
so,
does it really do cell regeneration when you do it?
yes, it does, because what happens is at some point when you're running out of glycogen, you've eaten all of all the carbs from your blood are gone. So you get to that point where the body turns on itself and starts feeding off of the fat and starts feeding off of the defective cells. So it's kind of like survival of the fittest, but within your body, where the cells that are defective, the autophagy, the cells eat themselves. It's a way of detoxing and of cleansing the body.
Right.
So when you're fasting, you're actually getting rid of defective and dead and half dead.
So what can I eat or drink during a fast?
So during a fast, I would recommend black coffee and water and, but it depends. Some people can actually fast the way they would before you have a colonoscopy, where you can have your, clear Jell-O, sugar-free Jell-O.
Oh, wait, but do you have to drink the drink too?
No.
No.
No, that's only if you're looking. Look, there's something to be said about stomach viruses too. Sometimes that extra 5 pounds can come up very easily.
Yeah, drink a drink.
But no, we're kidding. Wash your hands
Don't
after you
do
work out.
that.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to get a stomach virus. But talking about the fasting, and we'll move on to other different techniques, but intermittent fasting is now very popular, and it doesn't have to be 24, 48, or 72 hours. The longest I've done twice. I've done 3-day fasts, and that's something else.
You know, the Mormons do it the first Sunday of every month, a 24-hour fast, and they're really healthy.
They're very healthy. It's a good idea to fast. I think that for the people who don't want to do 3 days, they don't want to do 2 days, even fasting for 1 day, if let's say you start fasting on Friday evening and you break your fast on Saturday, or you can start fasting on Thursday and break your fast on Friday.
So we
and
pretend
wait
we're
24
Jewish.
Hours. Well, you can actually absolutely
right,
do that.
New Year's.
But that's
because you tell me to break it.
To break the fast. But it's if you try to fast occasionally, a 24-hour fast, like you start seeing these benefits where the growth hormone increases by 200, 300, 400.
Oh, then I'll do it.
They've got all these numbers, right? They've got all these numbers where it's been proven that if you're fasting, you're actually increasing your growth hormone production and detoxing from all the defective cells. As your body feeds off of itself, it feeds off of the weakest defective cells first. So I would recommend fasting once in a while. You don't have to do it on a regular basis. I'm also not really using fasting for weight loss.
No, because that makes you gain weight, I think.
No, you don't gain weight. You lose some water weight. You do lose some weight, but it's not the point of fasting is to detox and cleanse your body and reset your hormones. It's actually the stem cells in the intestinal tract get stimulated, so now you're producing new stem cells. Which is very important.
Yes.
And now it's a proven fact. So I think fasting is a great way to rejuvenate, and everybody now is looking into biohacking, and everybody's talking about rejuvenating and aging in reverse, and fasting is actually one way of doing that.
Right. And I did read all up on that before we discussed it today, but I wanted to ask because I like to eat and I don't. Yeah,
I think a lot of people like to eat. So, which brings us to our next idea or topic, which is what sort of diet should someone adopt if they're looking to remain lean or lose weight? And there's different techniques and different things that people can do.
Yeah, like no carbs, lots of carbs,
and
just meat.
Right.
Nothing but sugar.
The bottom line is if you want to lose weight, you have to create a 500 calorie deficit a day.
What?
Right. So based upon your age, your sex, your weight, and your physical activity, then you have to eliminate 500 calories from whatever it is that your body requires to sustain itself. So let's say someone who doesn't work out, who's fairly petite, who's, let's say, 5'5", some, female, right? It's easy to cut off 500 calories because they're already small.
Right.
They're not big eaters.
I don't even know what my calorie count is a day.
But then you would need about 18 to 2,000 calories a day just, to function and to be alive. Once you start going below 1,500, now you start to create a deficit, right? So you can be, he's snoring. This is so funny. We're being totally upstaged. They say never bring kids and pets on the set because they'll upstage you. So whatever you're hearing here is oh my God, he's so cute. There we go.
Gizmo's snoring.
Yeah.
He's
Forget
bored
about
with the
nutrition and
conversation.
working out, right?
He doesn't want to hear nutrition working out. He wants to go partying.
Just so you know, he eats junk food. So I'm not even he's this dog eats cheesecake.
He does.
You're not too bad, Mommy, feeding him cheesecake. No.
Steak.
He's fine.
He eats anything I eat.
He's very healthy. So we're talking about creating a deficit, right? So you have to create a 500 calorie deficit in order to start losing weight. So that's number one. So whatever, if you're dealing with someone who's used to eating a lot,
right?
Since food can be an addiction, and I'm sure that some people know what I'm talking about.
I've got my counseling, addictions counselor's degree.
Well, overeating is an addiction.
Yes, there's lots of them.
And it's a way for people to soothe themselves, and when they're filling their stomachs, they're feeling better, and they're getting all those endorphins going. I personally prefer not to feel that way, feel all bloated and big, and try to eat like 80%, not be full. Don't be 100% full, maybe 80%.
I was taught that you'll never be overweight if you always leave something on your plate, is what my parents taught me. But that's probably because they left most of their plates.
Yeah, that's depends how much food you have on your plate, right? And it doesn't hurt to see a nutritionist. It doesn't hurt to do a little bit of research. I think that a lot of times people want to get in shape, they want to lose weight, they want to tone, they want to do it.
Right.
But it requires
work.
It requires work, and it requires a commitment.
And the other thing it requires is a lot of people, they don't cook at home. They don't do stuff at home. Because you know me, I make random stuff. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with the chemicals that are in the foods when you go to restaurants.
Right. Well, that's a good thing to keep in mind as well. Restaurants are there to make a profit. So it doesn't matter. You think you're going to a great restaurant and they have a great chef and they're serving you great food, and some of it may be organic and locally farmed, but they're in the business of making money.
Right.
So if you feed yourself in restaurants all the time, then obviously you're going to be ingesting chemicals.
Yeah.
And in that case, you better do that fasting once a month.
Yep.
So you can cleanse your body.
I shared a thing because like when we were kids, foods were healthier because it's like, oh, well, I drank this growing up and it was okay. Yeah. But if you look at the chemicals that are in our stuff nowadays, like what used to have 3 chemicals has like 20.
I think I was fortunate. There's a silver lining to misery, right? I was born in Romania in communism under Ceausescu, right? My family fled socialism when I was 11 years old. So I got to live in a country where, very much like in Venezuela, despite beside of all the romancing of, no, we're going to reinvent socialism the right way. We're going to do it right this time, right? We're going to reinvent the broken wheel.
I'm so happy that they've been liberated.
Right, but one of the things was that we had no access to the kind of junk food that the kids in the West had.
But you had to, even as a kid, to re-sew the blanket and stuff, you had to get
I mean, things were, oh, you needed permission for everything.
To do anything. That's what people don't get.
Well, right. Just a little caveat, a little side, side commentary on socialism, just because I'm such a fan. I'm such a fan.
I'm not a fan. Cuban on one side, so because Venezuela was Nuevo Cuba, is what I call it, the new Cuba.
Yeah, it's the people who actually experienced and lived in those regimes who are trying to explain to the people who are trying to reinvent the wheel that the problem is that when you centralize power, you no longer have
any power.
So it's all, the beauty in the United States of America is that it's decentralized. The more you centralize something, the more you're giving power to a handful of people. And once those people have power, they don't want to give it up. What a shocker.
Or any government ran grocery store never has food in it. Yeah. Or even if you go a lot of times to the military bases, to their stuff, they don't have all the stuff that the regular ones do. Now, I'm talking about U.S. military on base because they have their own stores.
Anything that's government run, it's a mess. It's like having the DMV run your life. And no offense to the DMV, but anyway. So back to fitness.
Yes, back
I
to
guess
fitness.
in Ceausescu's communism, people were thin because they couldn't find any food. Right. But here, where we are surrounded by food.
I remember taking my daughter's cousins to like a grocery store for the first time from when they came over from Cuba. They cried. They couldn't believe it because they would get. We had that they would have 25 American dollars a month, and they'd get a little thing of beans that had to last 3 months, 1 bag of rice for 3 months, 2 eggs up to a certain age, and then you didn't get eggs. So not pretty.
Well, when I first went into a supermarket at 11 in Canada, and these doors opened, it was summertime, and we walked into the supermarket, and it was cool, and all these fruits, and oh my God, pineapples and bananas, and all the fruits in the world that you just didn't see. And in communist Romania, and so I'm segueing back, right? I'm weaving the story back to health
fruits,
and nutrition,
vegetables,
right? So
healthy stuff.
Communism is bad, but so is being overweight. So the beauty.
So we could say that's
the beauty of capitalism is that you actually have a choice. And now,
freedom.
And we have, so now that we have social media and we have artificial intelligence and we have access to all the knowledge that you could possibly ever want, right? We have the ability to research what we eat.
Yes.
And we have the ability to make choices. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of willpower and a vision to be able to say, you know what, this is what I want for myself. I want to be healthy. I want to feel youthful. I want to be energized. I basically don't want to look in the mirror and pinch fat rolls, and which I tell my clients not to do, by the way.
Wow.
They come to me and they go, oh, look, and they start pinching themselves. And I'm like, don't do that. Of course you're going to be depressed if you do that. So we have choices. So it's about making healthy choices.
Right.
In your case, I know that a lot of times we have to tie you down and not let you eat the junk food.
Right.
But you have the ability to control your portions.
Yeah, because I'll
and I know you eat out a lot, but you control your portions. It's portion control.
I do. Portion control, and I also limit certain things. Like I know if I eat more than 10 French fries, I'm sick, but that's because of the oil. And I've been like that since they moved to this one type of oil in all restaurants. That my body loves me because it doesn't let me overdo anything, because otherwise I'm sick.
Right. Well, it lets you overdo some things, but.
Yeah. One thing. My big personalities.
Yeah. So, her big personality. So so we have choices, right? And when you start making healthy choices and you start moving your body, so if you move like a hunter-gatherer and you eat like a hunter-gatherer or a farmer, then your body will begin to respond, and you're going to start toning and losing weight. And you don't want to be a skinny fat person either.
What's
right?
a
You know, a
skinny?
skinny fat person is someone who does only cardio. They don't do any kind of strength training. They're not building muscle. They're just losing weight, and they end up looking like a thinner version of themselves. So they're not getting they're not building the muscle. Muscle
Similar.
building
Is it similar to the Ozempic face?
Yeah, sort of. Yes. I would say it's similar to that. And by the way, you know, if people who are diabetic or if someone is obese and they're having a really, really hard time losing weight,
And they need a jump, a booster.
Ozempic is not a bad thing for a lot of people. It's not bad, but you don't want to lose that. You don't want to use that as a crutch. So
and we're out of time. I don't know how.
I'm telling you, we're going to have to continue this. We're going to have a second episode.
Now
when
you've
we're
got to tell
demonstrating
everybody where to
exercises.
find you.
So the easiest way to find me, you can find me on Instagram at Sofia Manolesco. And if you're looking for programs, then you can just email me at sofiamanolesco@gmail.com. I'm only working with serious people right now at this point in my life. I don't need people who are not serious about getting in shape. And we put together a nutrition plan and a workout plan that includes cardio and building muscle, toning the body and getting strong. And that is the Fountain of Youth.
And thank you for joining us. And you can find me at Tammy H the Realtor on all platforms. Thank you for tuning into Tammy Time. Have a wonderful evening. Share,
Thank you
follow.
for joining us. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
As we wrap up today's show, I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of the Tammy Time community. I'm so grateful for the conversations we've had and the stories we've shared. Remember, you are strong, capable, and deserving of love and respect. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Keep shining your light and know that I'm rooting for you every step of the way. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you tomorrow on Tammy Time.